Wow. It is 50 degrees Celsius outside. The ground is breaking under your feet. The air smells like something burning. The nearest water is 30 kilometers away. And in this burning hot land, a man is going to work. This is Africa. Not the Africa you see in travel ads. Not the safari hotels. Not the pretty photo spots. This is the Africa most cameras never reach. In the most remote corners of this continent, hidden in ancient valleys, scorching deserts, and vast untamed lands, there are people who still live by the laws of nature. They did not run from these places. They learned to live with them, became part of them. And what you are about to see should not exist. A people who have lived in the hottest place on Earth for over 2,000 years, not survived it, chosen it. A community that washes in something you would refuse to touch and has better skin than most people in any modern city. Women who step forward to be whipped in front of everyone they love and call it an act of love. And one last group of people, just 1,300 of them, who own almost nothing and worry less than you do right now. This is not a journey for the faint-hearted. We are about to step deep into the wild heart of Africa to meet 8 of the most resilient, mysterious, and extraordinary communities still living on this planet. So take a deep breath and step forward, because where we are going, comfort does not exist. Africa is not a country. It is a world. The continent is large enough to fit the United States, China, India, and most of Europe inside it simultaneously with room left over. It holds 54 nations and more than 2,000 spoken languages, not dialects, distinct languages. That means 1 in every 3 languages spoken anywhere on Earth today exists only here. It is also the oldest stage humanity has ever performed on. The earliest fossils of our species were found here in Morocco, in Ethiopia, more than 300,000 years ago. Every human alive today, on every continent, traces their deepest roots back to this soil. Today, Africa is the youngest continent on Earth. Median age, just 19 years old, and one of the fastest changing. Cities are growing at speeds that stagger urban planners. New roads push into territory that was unreachable a decade ago. But not everywhere, not yet. In remote corners of this vast continent, 8 communities are still living the way their ancestors lived, untouched by the modern world. Their traditions, their knowledge, their way of life, passed down through generations unchanged. We are about to step into their world. Before the sun fully rises, hundreds of men walk into hell. Not metaphorically, literally. The air burns your lungs before you breathe it. You check the thermometer. It reads 50 degrees Celsius. It is only 7 a.m. The Danakil Depression in northeastern Ethiopia sits more than 400 feet below sea level. It is one of the lowest points on the surface of the Earth. The landscape looks like the aftermath of a volcanic nightmare.
Like the video that I'm taking
Bright
right now?
yellow sulfur vents bubble and hiss pools of turquoise acid shimmer and ripple in the heat, and the soil cracks open in geometric patterns like the skin of something ancient and dying. The smell hits first. Sharp, chemical, sulfur that catches in your throat before you realize you've inhaled it. Scientists who study this region describe it as the closest place on Earth to the surface of another planet. The temperature here regularly exceeds 50 degrees Celsius. To put that in simple terms, it is hot enough to cook food directly on the ground. Hot enough that your body's cooling system begins to fail within minutes if you have no water. And into this place, every single morning, walk the Afar people. The Afar have lived in the Danakil for over 2,000 years. They are not passing through. This is not a seasonal camp. This is their permanent home, carved out of a place that most living things avoid entirely. But the Afar did not come here despite the harshness. They came here because of what the harshness had to offer. Salt. Beneath the surface of the Danakil Depression lies one of the largest salt deposits on the planet. The Afar have mined it by hand for centuries, using nothing but wooden tools, flat stones, and the sheer resilience of their bodies. Each morning before the sun reaches its peak and the air becomes genuinely dangerous, hundreds of Afar salt miners descend onto the flats. The work is done in near silence. The only sound is the rhythmic crack of stone tools on white earth and the heavy breath of men who have learned to ration every movement. They chisel white blocks of salt from the ground, load them onto camels and donkeys, and begin the long march to market. A single man might carry the equivalent of 30 kilograms on his back over a journey that takes hours in heat that would send most people to a hospital bed. Water must be brought from sources more than 30 kilometers away. There is no tap. There is no shortcut. Shelters are built from woven grass, positioned to catch whatever breath of wind dares to move through this furnace. The Afar do not see themselves as survivors of this landscape. They see themselves as its keepers. This is a people who chose to live in the most hostile environment on Earth and built a complete way of life inside it. But the Afar will challenge your definition of hardship. The next people we are about to meet will challenge something else entirely your definition of clean.
Yeah, I understand why you live here.
Air conditioners are good.
Here is a fact. The Mandari people of South Sudan bathe in cattle urine. Put your reaction on hold, because in the next 90 seconds, it will become one of the most logical things you have heard all day. Of all the things you might expect to find deep in the swamps and grasslands along the White Nile in South Sudan, a community that washes with the urine of cattle is probably not on your list. But when you understand why it becomes impossible to argue with. The Mandari have lived alongside their cattle for thousands of years. And when I say alongside, I do not mean they keep herds nearby. I mean cattle are the center of their entire world. They are currency. They are status. They are the subject of poetry, of songs, of identity itself. A Mandari man's wealth is measured not in coins or land, but in the number and quality of his cattle. The animals are named. They are sung to. They are in every meaningful sense family. And so naturally, nothing from a cow is wasted. The Mandari apply the ash from dried cattle dung directly onto their skin and hair. This is not a strange custom. It is a practical solution. The ash acts as a natural insect repellent, an antiseptic protecting the skin in an environment where mosquitoes carry disease and wounds can become infected with terrifying speed. Fresh cattle urine serves the same function as soap. Its natural antiseptic properties kill bacteria on contact. In a place with no clean running water, no pharmacy, and no hospital nearby, this is not a last resort. It is a solution that has worked for 3,000 years. If you are tempted to judge it, the Mandari have maintained exceptional skin and hair health in conditions where disease would otherwise run unchecked. They did not need a laboratory to figure this out. They needed 3,000 years of paying attention. The lesson here is simple. Do not judge a solution by how it looks. Judge it by whether it works. From the wetlands of South Sudan, the air changes. Something tenser moves through it. We are entering the territory of warriors, and their definition of respect will make you uncomfortable. Two men stand in an open field. Each holds a pole, the length of a man, thin, flexible, made for one purpose. They are about to hit each other hard, in front of everyone they have ever known, and the one who bleeds without flinching will leave with more respect than the one who wins. The Suri people of Southwestern Ethiopia have built their identity around one idea: the willingness to face pain and not step back. The Suri are famous or infamous, depending on your perspective, for the donga, a ritual combat ceremony that takes place between young men during the dry season. The donga is not a fight in the way most of us would understand the word. There are no weapons designed to kill. There is no intent to permanently harm. But make no mistake, this is real contact, real pain, and real consequences. Participants wield long, flexible poles, roughly 2 meters in length. They strike each other across the torso, legs, and back with full force. Judges oversee the match. Crowds gather not just to watch, but to judge. Because the most important outcome of a donga is not victory, it is how you lose. A Suri man who absorbs a blow that would floor most people steadies himself and continues fighting earns more respect than the man who lands the final strike. In Suri culture, scars are not something to hide. They are something to be proud of. They are proof, visible, permanent proof that you have faced pain and chosen to stand your ground. Young Suri men compete in the donga to earn the right to marry. A woman watching from the sidelines is not choosing the most violent fighter. She is choosing the most fearless one. The one who, when the world comes at him hard, does not step back. The donga is grueling. It is raw and visceral in a way that is difficult to watch. But it is also, if you allow yourself to see it clearly, a deeply human thing, a culture that has found a way to let men test themselves against each other without permanent consequence. To establish hierarchy, build courage, and prove themselves through a ceremony with clear rules, clear judges, and a clear result. Every culture on Earth has some version of this. The Suri version is simply more honest about what it is. From the world of warriors, we cross into something that seems at first almost dreamlike in its beauty. But like everything on this journey, the surface is only the beginning. There are fewer than 3,000 Karo people alive on Earth. 3,000. And yet they have created something no art museum in the world can fully capture. To stand in a Karo village along the Omo River in southern Ethiopia is to feel like you have stepped into a living gallery. The Karo have elevated body painting to a level that defies easy comparison. Each morning, men and women apply elaborate patterns to their skin using chalk white pigment red and yellow ochre charcoal and iron ore. No two designs are the same. The motifs shift with the season, the occasion, and the individual's mood. Some patterns mimic the spotted coat of guinea fowl. Others follow the shape of cracked, dry earth. Some are entirely abstract, rhythmic, intricate, and precise. But this is not decoration for decoration's sake. Every mark has meaning. Each design tells you who this person is, what they have done, and where they stand in the community. Karo women wear heavy brass coils around their necks and wrists. Men wear elaborate headdresses crafted from clay ostrich feathers and woven fiber. Each element is a message about the wearer's age, their status, their relationship to the people around them. It is a complete visual language written on the human body. Then there is the ukuli, the bull jumping ceremony. For a Karo young man to cross the threshold into adulthood, he must run across the backs of a line of cattle, not once, 4 times, without falling. The cattle shift. The surfaces are unpredictable. A fall is not just embarrassing, it means another year of waiting, another year of existing in the uncertain space between boy and man. But before the young man takes a single step, something else happens, something that will stop you completely. The women of his family step forward, and they receive whippings across the back from male relatives, deliberately, without resistance. These marks are not punishment. They are a gift proof that the women of his family love him enough to suffer for him. Their pain is their blessing, their investment in his success made visible on their own skin. It is a deeply moving act of love, just expressed in a way most of us have never seen before. You are halfway through this journey, and the next community will offer you a completely different kind of awe, quieter, more intimate, and in some ways more beautiful than anything you have seen so far. The first thing you notice is the color. Not the landscape, though the Namib Desert at golden hour could make you stop breathing. The first thing you notice is the people themselves. Their skin glows, a deep, rich copper red, warm and striking against the pale desert behind them. In the bone-dry expanse of Namibia's Kunene region, where the Namib Desert meets scrubland and rocky hills, lives a community whose relationship with their own bodies is unlike anything you will find anywhere else in the world. The Himba people of northwestern Namibia have maintained one of the most intact traditional cultures in all of Africa. They are pastoralists, moving their herds of cattle and goats through some of the most arid terrain on the continent. This copper color comes from a paste called otjizi. It is made from a mixture of butterfat ash and ochre powder. Himba women apply this paste to their skin and hair every single day. It protects the skin from the fierce desert sun. It repels insects. It regulates temperature. It keeps the skin supple in an environment that would otherwise crack it like old leather. In simple terms, otjiz is their sunscreen, their moisturizer, and their insect repellent all in one. But the Himba do not describe it that way. In their language, they describe it as the color of beauty itself. The elaborate hairstyles built into the otjiz, braided into dense sculpted formations that signal age, marital status, and social position, are works of art built directly into the body, not applied to it, built into it. Himba society is matrilineal inheritance passes through the mother's line. Women hold significant social authority. Decisions about land cattle and community matters are negotiated through a web of relationships that centers female knowledge. Remarkably, the Himba have largely resisted the pressures of modernization, not from isolation, but from choice. They have seen the modern world. They simply chose to continue living their own way. Electricity, when offered, has sometimes been declined. The otjiz is still applied daily. Children still learn to navigate by the stars. The songs are still sung. There is a saying in many African languages that translates roughly as "I am because we are." The Himba live this idea every single day. From the Namib's rust-colored silence, the landscape shifts. The desert doesn't end, it becomes something different, older, emptier, and within it, hiding in plain sight, are perhaps the most extraordinary survivalists this planet has ever produced. A sand tracker crouches in red sand. He studies a single footprint for 15 seconds. Then he stands. Adult male. Moving fast. Left front leg is favoring. 2 hours ago. That direction.
One of the most unique tools of the Bushmen
He
is
is
their
not
famous
guessing.
poison arrows.
The Kalahari Desert stretches across Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa, a vast flat sea of red sand and golden grass that looks from a satellite image entirely hostile to sustained human life. Water sources are hidden, seasonal, and invisible to the untrained eye. The animal tracks crisscross the sand in ways that are meaningless to an outsider. The San Bushmen, one of the oldest living peoples on the planet, with ancestry stretching back at least 100,000 years, read them like a newspaper. The San are hunter-gatherers in the truest sense. They do not farm. They do not keep livestock. They move through the Kalahari in small family groups, reading the land the way the rest of us read a screen. They know which roots hold drinkable water underground, and how to draw that water up through a hollow reed like a straw. They know which trees, when flowering in a certain direction, signal that underground moisture is shifting with the season. This is not magic. It is not instinct. It is knowledge built up over 100,000 years of careful observation, and passed from parent to child generation after generation. Louis Liebenberg, a South African scientist, has argued that the cognitive complexity of sand tracking is equivalent to the scientific method hypothesis evidence gathering testing revision. It is just performed on sand instead of paper. Sand trackers have been studied by researchers who describe watching them reconstruct from a single set of prints not just the species and direction of an animal, but its age, sex, weight, and emotional state at the time it passed. The San are not just the oldest people on Earth, they may be the world's oldest scientists. But their way of life is under threat. Their traditional lands have been progressively restricted. Many have been pushed off the Kalahari through government resettlement programs. The knowledge accumulated over 100,000 years is disappearing within a single generation. We press forward further north into Kenya's great drylands, and there, at the edge of the world's scarcity, we find a people who have made peace with almost nothing. When the water dries up, and in northern Kenya, it always does, the Turkana do not panic. They dismantle their homes in 4 hours, and they walk. In the far north of Kenya, in a region where the land is so dry that even the dust seems thirsty, the Turkana people live as they have for centuries in motion. The Turkana are nomadic pastoralists. Their whole life is organized around movement, following the rain, following the water, following the grass. Their homes are constructed from arched branches of dry wood covered with animal skins and woven grass mats. They weigh almost nothing. They go up and come down fast. A Turkana family can pack their entire home and be walking within hours. Their house is designed to move because their life never stands still. The Turkana have weathered some of the most severe droughts in East African history. In years when the rains do not come, and climate scientists note this is becoming more frequent, not less cattle die, goats die, and the Turkana make decisions that no one in a food-secure country will ever be asked to make. Which animal to slaughter first? Which route to try next? How to stretch a water supply that is already dangerously low across a family of 8. And yet, the Turkana do not describe their lives in terms of deprivation. Their songs celebrate their animals. Their poetry speaks of love and longing and pride. Their beadwork layered necklaces, worn by women from the collarbone to the chin, is a complete visual record of who they are, their clan, their age, their place in the community. A Turkana elder once said this: "We are not poor people in a hard land. We are strong people, and this land made us." Seven communities behind us. Each one has answered the land differently, with endurance, with ingenuity, with ceremony, with silence. But the last community is different from all of them, because where others adapted to the world around them, this one answered a more radical question. What if you need almost nothing at all? A Hadza man wakes up before sunrise. He does not check his phone. He does not plan his week. He picks up his bow, his quiver, and his axe. He walks into the bush, and the day begins.
My name is Chaba. Iyo.
There is a place in northern Tanzania in the dry woodlands around Lake Eyasi, at the base of the Great Rift Valley, where a group of roughly 1,300 people live by what may be the oldest way of life on Earth. The Hadza. The Hadza are among the last true hunter-gatherers on this planet. They do not farm. They do not keep animals. They do not accumulate possessions. They do not build permanent structures. Their way of life today is in its basic structure the same as it was 10,000 years ago. Nothing has fundamentally changed. When a Hadza hunter returns from the bush, whether he has a kill or not, what he has is shared, completely, without negotiation, without ledger keeping. If you have meat and your neighbor has none, you divide it. There is no concept of this is mine and not yours when it comes to food. This is not a rule imposed by a leader. It is simply how things have always worked, because the Hadza understood something long ago in an uncertain world. The best insurance you can have is other people. There are no chiefs among the Hadza. Decisions are made by consensus. A Hadza man who becomes too demanding, too possessive, too loud in his opinions does not get punished. He gets ignored and eventually drifts away from the group. The way they manage difficult people is not through punishment. It is through simply turning away. And it works. Hadza children are not given formal instruction. They observe, they follow, they attempt. By 8 years old, a Hadza child can identify dozens of plant species which are safe to eat, which can treat illness, which are dangerous. By 12, they are competent hunters. Not because they were taught in a classroom, because for the Hadza, learning is not separate from living.
Checking every gap he can reach.
Now consider this. Modern psychology has identified a condition called decision fatigue. It is the mental exhaustion that comes from making too many choices in a single day. Researchers estimate the average adult makes around 35,000 decisions every day. What to eat, what to wear, what to watch, what to reply, what to buy. The Hadza make a fraction of that number. And the researchers who spend time among them consistently note the same thing. Hadza individuals demonstrate unusually low rates of anxiety, depression, and chronic stress conditions that are now nearly endemic in industrialized societies. This is not a coincidence. Fewer decisions, less noise, more time in the open air doing things that are real and immediate. The result is a calmer mind. The Hadza are not living an impoverished life. They are living a radically simplified one. And the question their existence quietly raises for every one of us watching is simply this. How much of what we own, what we do, and what we chase every day is actually making us happier? And how much of it is simply weight that we have forgotten we are carrying? The sun is dropping over the Great Rift Valley. The light is long and gold. In the distance, a baobab tree stands alone against the darkening sky. Eight peoples, 8 answers to the same impossible problem: how do you live well in a world that offers no guarantees? None of them conquered the land they live on. Every one of them learned to understand it. Not one of them had a storage unit. Not one had a password to remember. Not one spent a single hour deciding what to watch next. And the researchers who live among them, they all report the same finding. These are not primitive people. They are not people left behind. They are by many measures less anxious, less depressed, and more present than most people you will pass on the street tomorrow. The world is larger, stranger, and more ingenious than anything we were taught to expect. There are still places no camera has reached, still languages spoken by fewer than 100 living people, still ceremonies that happen under open sky with no audience but the community itself. One of these 8 peoples stayed with you longer than the others. You know which one? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. And if you want to go further into the corners of the world most people will never see, that is exactly where we are going next. This is only the beginning.